I escaped my abusive drug addict ex, fought back with lies, and karma did the rest. Am I the villain? This might get kinda wild, but here goes. So I 27 have always been super clear with my boyfriend Jake 29M / about not wanting kids. Like, not now, not maybe ever. He knew this from day one. I come from a really messed up family where childhood was more about dodging punches and secrets than cartoons and bedtime stories. So raising kids sounded like... Plus, my mental health is fragile, and I just didn't want that responsibility. Jake, on the other hand, grew up in this picture, perfect all-American family. Mom, dad, a brood of siblings. Always talked about how he wanted a big family someday. I thought, okay, whenever. Maybe that's years away. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Things started to spiral after about a year together. Jake got more and more insistent on starting a family, throwing out these passive-aggressive lines like, maybe this is the year, or wouldn't you want to give me at least one kid? I'd shut him down hardcore, but he'd just smirk and say, you'll come around. Now, here's where it gets dark. One weekend I went over to his place for what I thought was a chill movie night. Instead, I found a bag of pills, various shades of white powder, and a couple of used syringes poking out of his trash. Turns out Jake had been dabbling deep into heroin and meth, which explained the mood swings and paranoia. I confronted him, begging him to get help. He flipped out, screaming that I was just trying to control him, that I was the problem because I wasn't ready to be a real woman and have kids. He called me selfish and freaked out, threatening to just find someone else who'd give him what he wants. At this point, I locked down birth control, got an IUD, and even started on the pill to double up. But Jake started pulling more insane shit, like sneaking off to drug deals, showing up high as a kite, and midway through a big argument in my apartment, he tried to force himself on me. I thought him off, and it broke me. I left his place that night and told him never to come near me again. Fast forward 6 months. I'm trying to rebuild my life, therapy, new job, and moving into a better apartment far from the chaos. But things got stranger when Jake showed up at my workplace in this seedy neighborhood. Turns out, after I dumped him, he got mixed up with a dangerous drug ring, racking up huge debts and violent run-ins. One morning, I got called into HR. Jake had been arrested like a block from my office during a sting-op, and somehow all his names and criminal aliases, including his real identity and a ton of dirt, were plastered all over the news. Then the kicker, his own family disowned him after the arrests, publicly funded on social media. I found out they'd been pressuring me behind the scenes to just have a kid and fix him, and that they'd blamed me for wrecking their perfect family image. Here's where my revenge slams home. I quietly used all the stories I'd collected, his drug use, the abuse, the threats, and gave detailed false statements to Child Protective Services and the company he worked for, the one that hired him after prison. I made it impossible for him to get any sympathy or jobs. I made sure every place he thought would take him in, shut him out. To top it all off, last month I learned he overdosed and landed in the ICU. I didn't visit, I just shrugged and walked away, finally free. So, did I overstep? Maybe. But when someone tries to drag you into being a damn accessory to their nightmare, you have to fight dirty. I refused to get pregnant or be pregnant with his problems, and I sure as hell refused to let him drag me down. If karma's real, it hit him hard, and I'm safe now. Finally.